And there it is, people. If that song does not get you, I just don't know what will. Welcome to BDSIR Network, the best damn show in radio network, Black Panther Review, with a few good geeks. I am your host for this evening, Mike Knoxxx. I spelled my name with 3 X's because people, frankly, like this movie. I am hardcore. People, tonight I have an all-star panel with us, the best geeks that I know around that can make this show this evening. But today, let me tell you a little bit about a few good geeks. We're going to break down this Marvel Cinematic, highly anticipated film, Black Panther. This movie right now is expected to at least gross $150 million over the next 4 days. But Variety has just put out 4 hours ago to track for well over $200 million. Being the highly anticipated film that it is, this has a superior black cast with a black lead character, a black director, black writers, and all pretty much a black cast. Directed by friend of the program, Ryan Coogler, and co-starring friend of the program, Michael B. Jordan, people. Joining me tonight on my all-star panel of a few good geeks is no other. You know him from the Soul and Sports. Find him on Twitter at Emmy Richmond. Welcome to the program, my brother Micah. Micah, what's going on this evening, sir?
Well, you know how I get down, brother. I turn my frowns upside down and put a smile on my face, and you don't need to pepper spray me with that mace and all kinds of words I'm trying to round together, but it doesn't really work. So let's just get on with the weather, man. What the hell's going on, man? What am I smoking? I know why. I'm hosting a game night tonight. That's why. Geeks Rock. Sorry. I'm good. Good. Black Panther, video games, it's all working together.
All right. A couple of people are going to catch those thumbs down there in Virginia. We'll get that information out to you guys later in the program. Also, join us from California, from Los Angeles to be more precise, a place I want to live, but I can't. But it's okay. I live my life vicariously through his eyes. He has brought the word, I digress, to the program and to the network. A few good geeks on, Mr. KME. What's going on, KME?
Hey, guys. Just chilling, waking up from a nap. You know how that goes.
Naps are a wonderful thing. People think that you shouldn't need a nap. Naps are underrated. I completely think that. And as always, join us as well, my social media to the icons and the stars over at the Soul and Sports over at Fox Sports Radio. Oh, he's just on the line with us right now as well. You know him as King Vaughn Jr. 720 on the Twitter, but on a few good geeks, he is just Mr. Vaughn. What's going on, Mr. Vaughn? 301, who's this? Vaughn. All right. Well, y'all get y'all technical difficulties together, which I apologize for that. We are doing a podcast, so those who were supposed to call in are having problems. I don't know. Let's try this again. KME, this is you, correct?
Yeah, this is me.
All right. So, first of all, guys, let's start off with this movie that came out on Thursday night. A lot of people had an opportunity to go see this film. Let's just go through real fast. I'm going to start with you, Emmy Richmond on Twitter, Micah, and your thoughts on this movie.
Man, what made this movie really, really special was really, really good. It served its exact purpose, because a lot of people don't understand that the way that Marvel has been building the universe, they've been building a universe so that it all fits together in a specific timeline, in which if you watch the movies in order in that specific timeline, you'll get the full story of what they're trying to tell you. It's all leading up to the Infinity War, man. It's all leading up to that big war. And so it did exactly what it was supposed to do. And in the same process, because this is what they've been really doing in Phase 3, they developed the characters for you to be invested in them. So I think they did a really good job with all the Phase 3 films to really get you invested in the characters as we explore what's going to happen here in the Infinity War, which, was probably like that we're going to lose some people. So I thought it did exactly what it was supposed to do.
KME, your thoughts on the movie real fast.
I really enjoyed the movie. Yeah, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it probably my favorite movie so far that came out this year. The year's early, but probably my favorite movie that came out this year. Definitely the best villain in the Marvel movie, in my opinion. Just really good story all around, and I can't. The stuff that I can complain about is real nitpicky stuff. So, I mean, I was satisfied.
So I'm gonna give you the opportunity to pick at those things. As a few topics we will discuss in this review of this movie. This will be a spoiler review. By the way, it is Saturday evening at this point. By the time you guys get to go see this movie, it'll be out there, but I will post it as a spoiler review. We're going to give our thoughts of the story of this movie. We're going to talk about the pros and cons, if they are, for any people here on the panel, on Black Panther himself, the King T'Challa. We're going to talk about Eric Killmonger. Just heard Cammy mention how that's his favorite Marvel villain thus far in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We're also going to talk about Wakanda itself and the King's mission. Which king? Which king mission did you side with? Does this movie have any comparison to Civil War and where Civil War lies, and giving you the vibe there? As well, we will give you our geek score for the evening. My thoughts, honestly, about this movie, guys, is what you've been hearing out there. I absolutely thought this movie was amazing from the symbolism and what this movie had for me. But I myself, and I blame no one but myself, went into this movie looking for a superhero movie. I spoke with all these gentlemen offline, so I'm going to use some words that was given to me because I agree with those words. Cammy said to me off air that he normally goes into these movies looking for more of a story than action. And I went into this movie looking for both. And I got more story than action. The story was absolutely phenomenal. I loved it, but I would have liked to have seen more action from this movie. Again, this is a spoiler review, so we're about to get into it right now. So if you have not seen this movie and you're about to go see this movie, I suggest you get off the line right now. Okay, with that being said, thoughts of the story of the movie. For those who don't know, this movie, it's very simplistic. It's about Eric Killmonger, whose father was killed by the king, Prince T'Challa's father, what we saw in Civil War, where he was off. That Teen T'Challa was killed off. His brother, who was Jobu, played by Sterling K. Brown from the O.J. Simpson thing, and he's also on what's the NBC show that's really popular and famous? This Is Us right now, played by him, and come to find out that he kills him, and Eric Killmonger actually has a mission. He wants to get back the throne and what was taken from him, from his father. His father, who was using Claw, played by Andy Serkis, which, listen, to me, for me personally, I thought he stole the movie in the roles that he was in, to use this vibranium, because the technology that Wakanda has come up with is what powered this nation that the world thought was a third world nation that was actually probably one of the richest nations we've ever seen, and how it thrived on technology. It was worlds ahead of anything that we've seen on Earth. And his father, Jobu, thought that, this is Killmonger's father, Jobu thought that they could use this to help the world, help other blacks around the world. He was sent here to America. He's seen what was going on in Oakland, California, and around the United States, and he thought, hey, we could use this to help everybody else out. The king thought differently, and he killed his own brother. Eric Killmonger is trying to get the throne to avenge his father's death and continue the mission. In the process of that, here we go into the movie. So with that being the backdrop of the story, I want to ask you guys right here, right now. Again, I'm going to start with you, Micah. I do see that King Vaughn Jr., 720, has joined the panel. Your thoughts of the story and how it played out for you there, Micah.
Well, one of the things I really like about the story, and as I mentioned earlier, they were really doing their best to shape the emotional depth of the character. Here, the first time we meet T'Challa as far as the MCU is concerned is after his father gets killed. So we see this very strong, very prideful, very hard-nosed king, Black Panther, who comes into his own when in Civil War and really tries to handle his business. He's the guy seeking revenge. A lot of ways, him and Killmonger, you got to be saying it's Killmonger, not Killmonger. Him and Killmonger, in that respect, were very, 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 very similar. If you use some of the things in Civil War as an allegory to some of the things that's going on here in the Black Panther movie. I do like I said, I do like the depth of the characters. I know a lot of people may not appreciate what Michael B. Jordan was doing, but there was a lot of things, a lot of layers that they kept very, very, while they presented him in a simplistic fashion, in my opinion, they gave him so many daggone dynamic layers that you had to think for a second. Like, hold on. Yeah, he's simple. Yeah, he has a basic revenge plot, but look at all the things that he did and all the things that he accomplished in order to be the person to come and properly challenge for the role of King and Black Panther. I mean, he didn't just show up. He had a carefully laid out lifelong plan that led him to that point. He literally said this when he was in the fight scene when he finally threw T'Challa off the waterfall.
You know what? Right there, I thought right there. You know, when we spoke and we all spoke offline. I thought that was the rendition for me. I love Dark Knight Rises more than Dark Knight, and that was so reminiscent when Bane defeated Batman, and almost the same premise of Bane has been waiting to beat Batman his whole life, right? So you have Eric Killmonger, who he was so focused in that battle, he was not going to lose that fight to become king. And some could argue he is still technically the true king, right? Because he had him defeated. He defeated
That's true.
The Black Panther. So from there, and you know, and we talked again, and I get back to your point. I just want to say this. I cheered for this man so much in this movie that I felt this was where I felt the Civil War comparison. But I will bring it up again later. Go ahead. I'm sorry. This gave me that Civil War because I had to choose between who was I actually rooting for.
Yeah, no, because that's the specialist, and when we get into him more, we'll talk more, and I'll give you more in depth about the things about his depth and his character. But that's what made him a great villain for this particular movie. And, you know, and when T'Challa was going through all the things that he was going through, to have that kind of a protagonist, that kind of, antagonist, that kind of adversary really brings out a lot more of those little elements. Now, granted, there were some things I didn't like, but we'll get into that when we get into the pros and cons. But overall, the storyline gave you everything you needed. It gave you some ups, it gave you some downs. Some people didn't like some of the comedic tones. They forget that Marvel likes to combine some slapstick comedy up in there. If you didn't laugh at it, okay, but that doesn't mean that they wasn't trying to make a joke. There was a lot of jokes in there that was hilarious to me. Most of the jokes, look, if my wife laughs at the joke, it's funny. Okay? My wife stays awake during your entire movie, you have a good story.
My kids laugh at the jokes, and the jokes in the movie gave it 100% the Marvel comic comedic tone. Okay, I hear you there. We've got to stick to the script, to the timeline, but it did give it a Marvel tone there in the setting. Oh, if you watch Marvel films, that was especially the part where they were giving where the sister, because I want to get everybody's name in here right. The princess. Good Lord, help me out. Shuri was her name, right? Latita, right? The princess, which is my daughter's favorite part of the movie, Tech, when she was showing him the suits, you know, that was very much like a Marvel tone there. Welcome to the panel today, guys. We got Mr. Vaughn checking in, our social media over at Soul and Sports on Fox Sports Radio. He's also saw the movie coming out of it fresher than I am. He's newly fresh in the last 4 hours in this film. Welcome to the program here to a few good geeks there, Mr. Vaughn. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Mike? Hey, what's up, everybody? Can you hear me? Now, as far as okay, you got me?
I got you.
Okay, great. All right, excellent. Now, as far as I just came straight out the movie. I'm already off the excitement anyway. That Black Panther high right now. I'm going to go ahead and see it again. Probably in 3D, maybe. I don't know. Depends on how I'm feeling right now. But the movie was well paced. I felt that it was definitely it pretty much followed the comics, just downright to the T, especially when it came to the stuff with Killmonger and how he beat T'Challa to take over as the king and everything like that. Now, when it comes to the comedic part, I think it was very well balanced. You know, it was very well timed, especially like some of the stuff with Shuri when she looked at T'Challa's sandals and said, "What are those?" I was like, that was hilarious.
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
That was probably the funny part of the movie.
Yeah, exactly. And then of course, how can you complain about Stan Lee's cameo? So I felt that cameo was was perfect in the casino and everything. And of course, the fight that went down right after that. So it was like the perfect transition to the more serious tone. And also, with the way that Ulysses Claw was captured and interrogated, like for Agent Ross to find out more about. And so as far, like I said, I mean, and the Warrior Falls scenes were absolutely excellent, especially the one where he fights M'Baku in the beginning. And then
absolutely love that scene.
That was incredible. I mean, both that and the Killmonger ones were fantastic. And so and it just goes to show how an enemy can become an ally, and how an ally can become an enemy. So W'Kabi, I think that's the guy that Daniel Kaluuya's character from Get Out. That character went from being T'Challa's ally to end up becoming his enemy when Killmonger came in. So like I said, I like how they play all those different elements.
I sat in the movie and said, now one of you got caught up with that white girl in that movie. I did. I said that was your get. That's why you was in Get Out. That's why you did that. Let me get Cammy in here and ask a question, Cammy, before you give me your thoughts about the story and ask you this as well. He talked about that scene at the waterfall, especially the first scene with Winston Duke playing the role when they had the soldiers and the generals. What was eventually going to happen there with the spears? Because they kept getting closer and closer and closer. Were they eventually going to just kill them if they didn't if someone didn't tap? I got that part. I love that part. I just want to know what would have happened on that part. It was like it was a steel cage match with spears, and the ring got smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I thought it was good for the movie,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, this movie's tracking right now at $200 million plus. It made 25.2 on Thursday, the largest Thursday night opening ever for a movie. And then also last night on Friday, $76 million according to Forbes magazine. And this movie is just doing tremendous numbers right now. So I'm actually this one, Cammy. Moving on. Let's talk about Black Panther himself. Give me your pros and your cons of him playing this role in this movie.
My pros of him in the movie, I thought they picked a really good actor. That's the first one. They picked a good known guy, but at the same time, he's still kind of up and coming, So I thought the pick for T'Challa was fine. I really enjoyed that. My con, I don't really have too many cons. I mean, they could have gotten, I really wish they could have gotten Idris Elba. Idris Elba kind of got screwed out of playing that part by giving him that lame character he does in Thor. But it is what it. Yeah, it is what it is, man. It's like that. I don't even know if Marvel realistic was planning the Black Panther movie until DC announced they were going to do a Cyborg movie, and then DC put Will Smith in that Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah.
I think that it kind of motivated Marvel to get on the ball faster. Unfortunately for them, Suicide Squad isn't a critically lauded movie, so
don't know why.
It was
because I personally, my wife personally, I know Micah. I think we said you liked it as well. Suicide Squad was a very good movie. I
enjoyed it. I mean, I only know that Margot and Will stole the show, but it was great. I thought it was great.
Yeah. It wasn't bad. To me, guess what? I think Suicide Squad for me, and we're gonna just get back off of this real fast. It was better than Ant-Man. I thought it was better than Ant-Man.
I did.
I
didn't even know Ant-Man. So,
but people Marvel heads will love Ant-Man.
But Suicide Squad made its money, so it did what it was supposed to do. But it was I did the problems I had with Chadwick Boseman are so nitpicky that I don't even really know if I consider them like cons. because
okay,
he did a very good job.
You know what? And I go next. I'm with you. I don't really have any cons against him, and I'm gonna nitpick the one thing. So I'm gonna throw it out there, and it's not really a con. It's just the role of King T'Challa himself, Black Panther, and this is all credit due to Ryan Coogler. When you got Michael B. Jordan, you got Nakia, you know what I mean, played by Lupita in this movie. You got Tupac's mama in this movie, Danielle Correa, right? You got Angela Bassett. You got Andy Serkis. This movie had so many developing characters that I thought he got overshadowed in the role because the movie was so everybody's role was so good. I wanted to see more of him in control. So if that's a con, then so be it. That's all I have. And I'm gonna say this much: for those who have come out about the story, about this movie, and wondered why we're so excited about this movie, it's simple. We're not Pookie. We're not drug addicts. We're not stupid from How to Drink a Medicine Sauce in Virginia, Boys in the Hood. We're not playing slave. We're not prisoners. We're not ghetto. We're not coons. We're not old dog. We're a king. We're an African king. And people, media, most importantly, especially the black media, get it correct. Here's not an African-American superhero. Here's an African superhero because that's where we originally are from. Your pros and cons, so Michael, we talked about one earlier. I know you have a con. Tell the world what it was.
Oh man, my con when it came to Chadwick Boseman was not like just like you said, it's not him, it's just the way they portray King T'Challa. It was one of those things where I noticed that when he was such a strong, imposing, and ruling, dominating figure in Civil War, they kind of feminized his character some with the combination of the costume and the way they've you can say they tried to humble him, but he was never really arrogant in the first place. He wasn't Chris Hemsworth's Thor. He wasn't. No. He wasn't an arrogant African king. He wasn't an arrogant Wakandan king. He was actually trying to be a good king, trying to follow his father's footsteps, follow the traditions of Wakanda and all those things. But but you know they feminized him a little bit. They made him weaker than he actually was. And I saw some of the elements in the suit. Okay, you have this nice strong suit. You know, granted the helmet is what the helmet is. I mean, you know, you have to put on the helmet, all that stuff, blah blah blah. But the suit looked like a man suit. It looked like a king lion suit, so to speak, Lion King. I'll get to that point later. Then this one looked like a lioness suit. I'm like, okay, you got nice little abs showing, you get your little skinny thing going on there. It's like skinny jeans. His old Black Panther costume was like 90s baggy pants. This one is skinny jeans. I was like, I like the baggy pants a little bit better. So
I don't know about that.
That's just me. I like his old suit.
No.
I like the design of his old suit.
Yeah. I like the color suit better. I like the old suit better. I agree with
the gold suit's better. The gold color was better.
But the skinny part to me, he seemed sleeker in the purple suit, and he seemed bulkier in the other suit. The skinny, I don't know about the.
Yeah, that's what I like about it.
Yeah, I think all
that's what I like about it. He looks like a Black Panther. He looks a man Black Panther, and not a female Black Panther. Okay, that's the point. That's the point where I'm getting at. And one last point. One last point, very quick. I never liked in any movie where there's a black man as the lead, where they try to figure out ways to where they kind of feminize him. That's something that's pretty common among some black male lead characters, especially in these last few years, where there's certain elements of society that wants to kind of champion certain rights above others, and that intersectionality crap comes into play. And so that's why you get people who are stupid that were complaining that there were no gay people in Black Panther. Like, you're dumb. Yeah, I said it, and you can come at me on Twitter. M.E. Richmond on Twitter. You can find me, and I will tell you that you're dumb, because it wasn't about no gay people. It was about Black Panther. And the kingdom of Wakanda.
I agree with you, but there are black gays out there. I'm just saying. Tammy, you had a point you wanted to touch on in what he was saying before I go on to the next subject. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think lately a lot of us black folks really been cooked, especially with. I don't think he was feminized at all. To me, even if you thought the suit was gay looking, and I don't, even if you thought that. You know, it's all about the person who's wearing the stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like, Prince wore a lot of, you know, questionable clothing, but nobody's calling Prince gay. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That was different time, though.
I give you that. No,
it doesn't matter the time. Prince, nobody. How many guys? I grew up in the '80s. I never saw dudes walking around wearing high heels and blouses and stuff like that.
Right. And nobody ever questioned.
I like Magos. And nobody. Let me touch on this before we move on. Because I want to touch on the one part where he says the masculinity part or defeminizing part of King T'Challa. And we talked about this earlier, and I had to think about the conversation, so I was prepared for today's program. And I said this to you earlier. You said, not on your side. I was raised by my mother, my grandmother, my aunts, my older female cousins. My uncles were involved, but they were in jail and gang violence and things along those lines. So, and there's parts in this movie where in Civil War, he didn't have them around him for him. So he felt, I can be in more control. I'm who I am. I have to represent. But when he was home, he gave them the respect of listening to their advice, and he took it. Because I remember, like you said, when you brought it up to me this morning, I sat in the movie theater myself at certain parts. I was like, wow, really? They can just change your mind so quickly? But then as I let it digest and I sit back and I enjoyed it and I let it sink in, maybe it wasn't that necessarily. I can see why you think that, but let me see if I can turn your mind the other way and say black men, African men, maybe could be the same. I just think our colored men with mothers that we respect a lot more than, say, sometimes the other side of things, as we've seen in media and in real life, period. He looked at them as, these are my queens. You know what I mean? And my queens. And so I'm going to listen to what they have to say. Next subject real fast, guys, and that is who I believe is, and we, again, talked about this earlier, is Eric Killmonger. Where do you rank him all-time in Marvel villains? For me, I'm going to put him number one. I think what Loki had the chance to do in 4 movies, he couldn't do. Not the actor's fault, okay, who played Loki. I'm sorry, I don't know his name. Excuse me. I'm not one for the name.
Tom Hiddleston.
There we go. That's why I have a crew. Okay, Tom Hiddleston. And what he did as Loki, it's Loki's character itself. That's who Loki, the character, is, that couldn't be better than what Eric Killmonger gave me. I would go Loki second. I would then go third. I would go Michael Keaton's Vulture, okay? And then for me, fourth, personally, I would personally put fourth on this list without any question. I don't think he gets a fair just in his roles and what he portrayed. That was my man from the first, not Iron Man, I'm sorry, that's where I was going to go. God, we talked about this earlier. We got Vulture. What movie am I?
You said the first Iron Man.
What about Red Skull? No, Robert Redford. And Winter Soldier, who I believe, according to the cartoon, turns out to be the Red Skull. I'm not the comic book guy like some of you guys
Alexander Pierce?
I glanced at he turns out to be the Red Skull, which, possibly still is not dead in this movie going towards Infinity Wars. Those to me are the greatest villains that Marvel has come out with. And if I'm going to put him in all-time villains completely crossing all universes, I still would put Eric Killmonger amongst my top 4, putting him behind the Joker and Heath Ledger, putting him behind Jack Nicholson as the Joker, and then I'm putting him above Gene Hackman, who I grew up off of that Christopher Reeve Superman. I'm putting him above that. This role, the way he played this role was so good for me. It made me want to root for him. I felt bad for him. I understood him. I could relate to him. And I just loved it. And I love the part that if you listen to this part in the movie, and I pointed out to my kids, he wasn't some dummy from the hood. He was an MIT graduate at the top of his class. He was a Navy SEAL. He was the top of assassins. He was Winter Soldier times 10.
Yes.
It was amazing. So for me, Eric Killmonger is the best villain in Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I put him in my top 3 of all time. I'm going to go with you, Mr. Vaughn, King Vaughn Jr., 720, whatever. What do you put Eric Killmonger amongst villains, and how do you feel about his character, Michael B. Jordan? Friend of the program, my y'all see my profile pic.
All right, now as far as Killmonger, I would have to agree, based off of the body of work of all the other MCU villains, I would have to put Killmonger in number 1, not just because a prisoner of the moment thing, but because of how deep his character was. Like you said, he's Winter Soldier times 10. So so not only was he street smart, but he was also, intelligent when it came to academics and everything like that. As far as strategizing, Killmonger would definitely be number one. Loki would be number two, and it's kind of hard. I put the Vulture somewhere in there as well, and I would probably even put Hela from Thor Ragnarok somewhere in there, but maybe number five. But as far as Killmonger, I would have to say, as far as MCU right now, he's definitely I would have to put him at number one. So with that being said, Thanos got to step his game up. So
again, we don't know what Thanos is going to bring to the table as well. And for me, the writing on the wall for this movie, again, spoiler review, is when he dies, and at the end of the movie, after the great fight scene, which this fight scene was incredible to me, when he said, Black Panther said, we can fix you. And he said, nah, so I can be in bondage. Just bury me in the ocean like my ancestors who were smart enough to jump off the ships. That made me want to shed a tear. Like, when black folks are getting excited about these movies, this is why. You know what I mean? Everything he portrayed, that this man has gone from Wallace in The Wire smoking crack in the projects to Erica Kane's adopted son on All My Children, okay, to playing Vince Evans with Scooter, a.k.a. Black Lightning, as his jail abusive father on Friday Night Lights, to superstardom, to Fruitville Station, to Creed, to now this. We have yet to see the surface with this guy. And I think Michael B. Jordan's is just on a rocket ship to bigger and better things. What are you next, Cammy? Where do you rank Killmonger villains in MCU universe?
Easily as far as the movies are concerned, easily number one. I think most of the Marvel movies, I don't like the villains in them. That's always my number one complaint about the Marvel movies. Killmonger, they did that Marvel thing with him a little bit, where they kind of, where they add a lot of brattiness to his character. Because in the comics, I like Killmonger slightly better, but I think what they did with the movie, it fits the narrative better. If I was going to judge him in the Marvel, out of just Marvel characters, I easily put him at number one without any hesitation. If I was gonna say overall, I put maybe Amanda Waller in Suicide Squad as number two.
Good one. Good one.
Because she is the villain in that movie.
Yes, she is.
Yes, she is.
She's the villain. She's the bad guy. I put the Joker. Heath Ledger's Joker. I put Two-Face ahead of Killmonger. But as far as the Marvel verse.
Oh, okay. Are you talking about in the movie description of these characters, or overall for you in general?
I'm just judging the movies, not over.
Okay, so
in the comics,
in the movie,
Killmonger wouldn't even be in my
Of course.
Yeah.
But in the movies, you're putting David Lee Curtis's Two-Face over Killmonger?
No, who was it? It was Aaron Eckhart, right? That was Two-Face.
Oh, that one, that Two-Face, the newer Two-Face,
the good Two-Face. Not the funny Two-Face.
Yeah, not the funny one, not the Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face.
I had to ask. I wasn't sure. I had to ask.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? You know what? For me, and it's just me, and I'll let you go. I thought alone that movie was single-handedly great because of Heath Ledger. That's why I put Dark Knight Rises above Dark Knight, because I thought he was just I didn't like. He was just okay to me. Just like he was just okay to me. But go ahead. It's your choice. That's your pick. I support it because it's still a good movie overall. But for me, Heath Ledger single-handedly was the saving force in that movie. I would give it to Scarecrow, so I would give it to Two-Face. That's just me.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, I think but like in the new DC movies, the villains haven't really been that great, except for Amanda Waller. I thought he was fine. But see, in the comics, I never got the impression that Killmonger was that evil of a, like, I knew he was an evil guy, but I, like, just when he choked that lady and was like, I'm the king now, or whatever the hell he said to her, I didn't, that wasn't Killmonger to me, you know, but,
okay.
You know,
yeah, I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't know that. But that was, to me, that I love that part of the movie. That he was like, yo, I'm the king now. You're going to do what I say. Burn these planks. There's not going to be another Black Panther that comes back. It's only going to be me. I love that about it. And I love that. And that imagery on the screen, I said that screensaver written all over right there.
Yeah.
But, well, okay, this is the thing. This is my problem with movies all the time with these villains. There's got to be a reason why people follow these villains. If you're not going around and choking women and stuff like that, to me, it's like, why would everybody else follow you if that's what you're doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like in that movie, Four Brothers. I love Chiwetel's character in that movie, but he was doing some reprehensible stuff that, like, okay, why would he be surprised at anybody doing exactly what they did to him? Like when they're playing pool, he makes the dude's woman eat off the ground, and then not pool, but and then that one scene
you were talking about.
Yeah, and then that one scene they're playing cards, and he's telling the Italian dude, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to fuck your wife" or something like that. To me, that's not a good. To me, that's an easy way out with a villain. It's like you're doing too much to show how evil he is. Whereas I think with villains, the best villains, they have that are following them have a reason to do it. You know. So that was my biggest issue with it.
And I'll get your opinion in there also, Micah, because to me, a good villain is one you kind of cheer for, and the one that makes a good villain makes the hero even better. Micah, your thoughts on Killmonger and where you rank him amongst villains all time?
Well, that one I've been struggling with because, you know, he's fresh and he's new and he's a nice shiny new object. So, you know, with so many different villains to choose from and so many different things I've already watched. And Cammy, thanks for reminding me. I forgot how devastating Amanda Waller was. She was a real in the entire movie. Like you really love to hate her, and she manipulated everyone's emotions, everything. She played people like she was more of a villain than the person who was destroying the whole planet.
Yeah,
so,
she was.
So I mean, very, very thought provoking on that one. You know. And Mike and I were talking earlier, and I understood when it came to it because what was one of the things that we really appreciated about Heath Ledger's Joker is that he brought out the worst and best in Batman when it came to, you know, having to force him to develop and develop mentally and emotionally into something strong. And then Bane took that into a whole nother level by not only developing him emotionally, ripping him apart emotionally and spiritually, but he also broke his back. So, you know, you break a dude not only spiritually, emotionally, and physically, to break him down to build him back up. And in a lot of ways, you can kind of compare what Killmonger did to that of Bane in The Dark Knight Rises, because that was the overall goal. Even though Bane was the key factor, he did what he did. He was manipulated by, of course, Ra's al Ghul's granddaughter. And Killmonger, in this sense, did the same thing for Chadwick Boseman's character, to make that King T'Challa have that moment where his greatest challenge will come from someone who is pretty much a lot like him. The only difference is being, okay, well, what's the message being sent here? Whereas, you know, I want to dominate just in Wakanda, or do I want to dominate the world because of such and such is going on and happening, which is the message that we can get out there and talk about that later. But honestly, I really can't rank him. I can't rank him. He's too new of a shiny tool for me. And if I was to rank him now, I'd probably rank him one or two. And I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, I want him to. I want to see. Yeah, I want to see. I want to see Thanos, and I want to see the other. I want to see Thanos and everything. Now, by the way, he's memorable. He's going to be a memorable villain, not because he's black, because you know that's not how I think. He's memorable because of what he has done in that movie and how he brings forth out the best and the worst in T'Challa, in my opinion. I'm going to remember him. Yeah, I'm going to remember. Yeah, and that's the other thing too. That's the other thing too. He's one of those villains that I did not want to see die. I expected him to pull a Loki. I was hoping like, oh, they're gonna pull a Loki where, you know, he gets his comeuppance, but then he's gonna be like, okay, cool, I'll do what I do, And then when Infinity War comes around, then he'll die, because at least then he'll die with that noble mentality, self-sacrifice, for my people type thing. I went, I want to see that.
Well,
so a villain that can make you want to see more of him is a good villain too.
Well, I'll say this much, and moving on, our time is a little bit limited here. Looking at the only two white men in this movie, I was good that Martin Freeman's character, was it Detective Ross? I'm glad that he was in the role he was in. I like that he just fit to me where he was, and Andy Serkis's Claw was just. We talk about guys dying. They could have did so much still with Claw going towards Infinity War, and what we saw from him when we saw Age of Ultron. I just absolutely love when that scene that we see in the trailer where he's getting interrogated. It's like. Yeah, he's right there. They gave us everything. They have everything, and you guys have no idea how much they have everything. I love him in this movie and was so upset that he died. Now, brings me to the next point and the closing out point before we give our grade about this movie. Wakanda itself and the King's mission was absolutely beautiful and spectacular. To see Wakanda, and this was part of Killmonger's problem. This was part of a lot of people, the old thinking of the old guard. To me, watching the King, before him, T'Challa mission, to me reminded me of Odin's mission in Thor before Hera's character, or what's her name, who plays in, what was it? Hela's character destroyed the mirror. We saw that before this all happened, how bad Odin was. That, to me, him killing his brother and trying to hide things and be secluded was part of the problem. And if you're not part of the problem, you're also part of the solution, as they say, right? So I felt that everything about Eric Killmonger was great in that role, and this is what made the mission that he had so good, because Wakanda had everything. The technology, the fruit, how they were raising the rhinos. Oh, my God, the final fight scene when these rhinos come out of nowhere is fantastic. Yeah. And before we get off to the start, because I haven't got time to talk about them, and I apologize for you guys, the characters of the women in this movie was absolutely phenomenal. I could not say enough for Angela Bassett, Ramona, his mother. I can't say enough for Tupac's mom. I'm sorry, I was going to call that from The Walking Dead,
Okoye.
General.
Okoye.
Okay, and Lupita, listen, I don't know about 12 Years a Slave, but I know about Black Panther. Next year, I guarantee y'all, she would make the top 25 BDSIR Network, top 25 female list. What a stunning, beautiful woman that she was. His sister, the princess. Disney is already enslaved. They're already calling her, changing the princess's sculpture. Okay, Vanity Fair it's saying that about her and what she did. This movie just hit on all cylinders. The women, fantastic. I know we didn't have enough time to speak about them. We didn't bring them up, so I'm bringing them up real quickly. They were the paintbrush to the paint board of this movie. This movie could not exist without the women in this movie. And I just want to say that credit to all of them for the roles they did. I'm going to go to you on this one first, Micah. The mission and Wakanda. What did you think about it? To me, I've never seen nothing like it visually, and I love the imagery that it gave me for the rest of my life, for myself and my family. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no, Wakanda was fantastic. Marvel did a fantastic job when it came to making the Kingdom of Wakanda look as great as it did. When I was looking at it, I was like, oh wow, this is a very good rendition of what technological prowess as well as being tuned with nature looks like. Not domineering and overtaking like Asgard was, but actually in blend and balance with nature. I actually kind of like that very much so about what they've done with Wakanda. Also, when you talk about the King's Mission, we talked about this earlier too, and I just wanted to bring it up to the other guys. One of the things that made this very, very special is because we can take a little bit of both from both Killmonger and T'Challa's understanding of what to do, a little bit of both of the past as well as the future. Understanding that, there's strength in what we have, and we need to have resolve in the strength that we already have and the resources that we already have available to us. But we also have to have the resolve to want to take personal responsibility for making that thing happen and to bring it out. Mike, you pointed it out to me, and we talked about it again. I bought that building. I bought that one. You bought that one. And when they brought in,
speak on it.
And I told you the thing that was special with me. I shared it with Mike earlier. What was special to me was not that he said that, and it was not when the kids. And the kids that were playing basketball were impressed with the ship that they just saw, and the princess went over and talked to them about it. It was the one young man that noticed, why is this guy sitting in the background while they over there talking about the ship? And the one black boy,
What's the one kid say? He said, "Yo, we could chop this down and sell the parts."
I ain't paying those kids no mind. I wasn't paying those kids no mind. I was like, I was like, come on, guys. But the one kid that was left alone was also noticing that T'Challa was alone too, and he walked up to the king. He didn't walk up to the thing. He understood something was special about this man. And I'm trying to tell you, that resonated with me so much more, because if we take the time to find the king, we take the time to talk to the king, we develop a king's mentality. And the more of us that have a king's mentality, the more things that can actually change. So we don't have to keep on chasing the things. We need to be chasing the king. That's what got me at the end of that movie. It was fantastic.
I like that. I like that right there. And not to mention how smart these people were, how educated these people were, and the money they had from the vibranium was just phenomenal. Cammy, your thoughts on Wakanda? And he didn't talk about the mission as well as the mission real fast. We're short on time.
Oh yeah, Wakanda was just visually beautiful. One thing I like about Coogler is he's able to get those really good shots and panaways and stuff. Like, he did that really good in the Rocky movies also. And not the Rocky movies, but that Creed movie. You know, I thought,
right.
Yeah, I thought he used the colors really well. Liked the color palette. Wakanda was just beautiful. That's really all I got to say about it. It was just really, really visually nice looking. And Coogler's gonna be a top director within the next few years. James Wan, and a few others, man. He's gonna be up there with those names.
He's done 3 movies: Fruitvale Station, Creed, and now Black Panther. And yep. I'm gonna make this bold prediction. By the end of the month, they will already be green-lighting Black Panther 2. And I love the words. Yeah. These are not my words. These are Nietzsche's words. Black Panther will be Phase 4's Iron Man going forth. I think because he has all the technology that's better than Tony Stark's. He is moving forward to be the next one to be the leader of the Avengers. Side note, before we get off the air, guys, LeBron James has announced that he will be rebooting House Party for New Line Cinema. Thoughts about that maybe in a future episode of a few good geeks. I don't know if you can touch House Party. Leave House Party alone. But real fast, guys, we're going to go around the panel and give our review for Black Panther. We go 5 geeks. So for myself, I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5 geeks to go see this movie. I absolutely thought it was phenomenal. My one flaw is just me. I wanted more action from the movie. That's the one flaw. The first part, when the movie starts off, you see the children. He jumps off the ship. He's going down, and he's beating up these what do you call them? Mercenaries? Not mercenaries. I forget. Whatever they are, the bad army. He's beating their butts. Yeah. I loved it. The fight scene in South Korea was phenomenal. I loved it when he does show up the purple suit. And then the end scene when he's fighting Killmonger at the end. I absolutely the fight scenes without the suit I thought was amazing. When he dies and he comes back and he goes to the other. We talk about all that stuff later again. It's so much to talk about. It's just not enough time. But go see this movie. A 4.5 out of 5 geeks for myself rating this movie. You'll go with you next, Vaughn. What do you grade this movie?
I give it. I guess because I just saw this movie, I would have. Normally, I'd probably give it like 5 out of 5 geeks.
If that's how you feel. If that's if you
yeah, I know, right?
5 geeks, give it 5
I know,
geeks.
right? Well. Yeah, I might as well. I already gave Ragnarok like 5 out of 5 hammers or whatever out of, you know what I mean. So like, why not? You know what I mean. So just because I just like the way that it was well paced. I like the vision that that this movie had and everything like that, and how they were able to transition from pretty much protecting their own country to using their resources to better to better other communities outside of their world. And so, and how Black Panther is definitely taking the torch as, like the leader, how Iron Man was in the original phases. So, yeah.
5 out of 5 geeks for Vaughn there. Micah, your geek grade?
I'm giving it a solid 4 out of 5 geeks. It's very, like I said, very fantastic movie. Love the message that was given, especially at the end. Very well done.
Okay, and for you, how many geeks you give this, KME?
I give it 4 as well. I think I heard that Michael B. Jordan is only contracted for this movie. So
yeah.
DC, you need to go ahead and get this dude to be Green Lantern.
Yeah,
don't let Disney steal everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Disney's already got all the good black actors, but I give it a 4. I give it a 4 out of 5. I loved it.
Start the petition now. DC better sign Michael B. Jordan because Marvel, Disney has dropped the ball by signing him to one movie and one movie only. Listen, guys, if you have not seen Black Panther, go see Black Panther. I'm going to go see it again this President's Day myself. I know a lot of black contingent are going to see it on President's Day because why is President's Day in the middle of Black History Month in the first place? So we're going to go see it on President's Day. And if you want to be extra. It's okay because we have been everything else but kings, everything else but queens. So go show out. Just be respectable. I was in a movie theater, small movie theater, and as black folks walked in the movie, I'm like, cousin! And they were respectable right back. My family and I had took up a lot of the rows. It was some seats that were spread out. I seen a couple couples come up. And you know what? I finally moved one of my kids over and had them sit down. Be respectful. Be kind. Go see this movie. And most importantly, what I wanted this review for, and what I feel that these guys giving it a 4 out of 5 and me and a 4.5 gave it was our honest review. You're going to see reviews out there from our white American friends out there that are giving it because they're afraid to knock it. You're going to have guys that want to just click on you to click on something so they're going to say the movie's horrible. I don't know if that guy was a moron, a.k.a. /retard. This movie's a very good movie, worthy of going to see, worthy of going to see it more than once to get the whole gist. And if you can dress up for Star Wars, Star Trek, Harry Potter, and whatever else you want to dress up for, hell, who are we to stop you for dressing up to go see this? Do you as you should always do yourself. Guys, listen, this is our first review here on the program. It was nice to do it. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you want to see more, let us know that you want to see more, and we will do that for you. Until then, hey, it's been real, guys. Black Panther, go see it. We'll talk to y'all later. A few good geeks. We out of here, y'all. Peace.